Hello and welcome. I'm your host Rupigil and I feel honored to welcome you all on the behalf of lovely professional university. Well, I'm glad to share with much excitement that today our expert will deliver her expertise and make us learn about how to make your child learning interesting. So I'm sure you are as excited as I am for the today's webinar. So kindly allow me to introduce our experts. Dr. Nimisha Berry, Professor, Head, School of Education, lovely professional university. An intellectual personality with an experience of more than 21 years as an academician. To her credit, she has more than 145 research papers and 3 books published in reputed journals and publications. Talking about her awards and accolades, she was university topper during her MEd. She has received IPE RA Professor Nalini Rao Memorial Best Women Educationist Award, Dr. Saroj Arora Prati Veteran Behavioral Scientist Award 2011, Best Academician in Research Award by ESN in 2019, and Lifetime Achievement Award by Novel Research Academy in 2021. She is the proud member of Global Education Research Association, Indian Science Congress Association, and Indian Psychometrics and Educational Research Association. So, ma'am, thank you so much for giving us your valuable time today. Thank you so much for joining. Furthermore, I would like to welcome Dr. Neha Vats, Assistant Professor, School of Education, lovely professional university. An ambitious professional with a doctorate degree from Guru Nanak Dev University and having more than 5 years of experience as an academician. To her credit, she has more than 9 research papers and 1 book in reputed journal and publication. She has been part of many national and international conferences, workshops as well. She has supervised 1 PhD thesis and 4 PhDs are going on under her guidance. So thank you so much, ma'am, for joining us today. Furthermore, we have our admission expert, Mr. Neeraj Sharma, Senior Officer, lovely professional university. With an experience of 15 years, his expertise lies in business development, marketing, and product promotion. And attendees today, he'll give you an insight of eligibility, fee, and scholarship, which I'm sure will make you save a lot of money. And in addition to that, he'll also be sharing the infrastructure part of the university. So, sir, thank you so much for joining us today. So with this, thank you, sir. With this, I welcome you all once again to the webinar and looking forward for a great interactive session. So over to you, Dr. Nimisha Berry, ma'am, for the content of the day.
Thank you so much, Miss Ruby. Thank you for such a warm welcome. So I would like to welcome you all to this session on making your child learning interesting. I, Dr. Nimisha Berry from School of Education, lovely professional university, would really think that this session will make you learn either as a teacher, as a would-be teacher, as a parent, that how we can make our children interested in the learning activities. So when we say making our child learning interesting, the first thing which comes to our mind, or first thing which when we see the faces of our poor children saying, oh dear boring teacher, what comes to your mind? What is there? Why the children think that the teacher is boring? Can anyone tell me? Anyone of you? Why the teaching or the teacher looks boring to the students? Okay, basically the teaching or the class look boring, or we can say that it does not look interesting to the child because they don't find anything relevant in that. Yeah, teaching kids is very hard, either as a parent, as an educator, or someone else. You know that challenges come too much when you are teaching the kids. They get distracted easily, they get tired out, they get bored, and even they lose interest if you're not at the top of your game. And that's why it's become very important to know how we can make learning fun, which you are going to learn in today's session. See, when we say that kids learn better when they have fun, yeah, it's very true, and many researchers have found out. No matter how young or old the people are, even you are learning as an adult learner today, then also you don't like boring teacher, you don't like boring lessons. So how we can connect with the learners is we should start our learning with the learner relevance. That is, we can say we have to make the connection between the content and the life. A musician can become a very better songwriter by doing an English course or by doing a lyrical course. An athlete can perform better on the field once they learn how to take care of their body in a nutrition class. A criminal justice can learn about human behavior from a psychology professor who is applying or who is learning his case. Anyone can apply accounting knowledge to spending money in the real world. So these local cases, these current issues, our scenario, our society, everything makes us learn, and we enjoy these kind of learning rather teacher giving a lecture in the class and listening to that boring lecture. So here in School of Education, Lovely Professional University, through our different programs, we try to inculcate these skills among the budding teachers, how they can make learning fun for the students, how they can make the learners enjoy. We have different programs in which we make our would-be teachers learn all these skills. Like we have programs for the undergraduate students like B.Ed. We have for the postgraduate students, we have a program which is known as Integrated B.Ed M.Ed. Students after B.Ed can even do M.Ed to become a teacher educator. Then even after 12th, we have the programs like Integrated BSc B.Ed, BA D.Ed, who are having a career orientation of becoming a teacher since the childhood. Even after, immediately after the 12th, they can join the education course. So in all these programs, we are offering these interesting ways, like we focus on the technology, we focus on e-learning industries, that how we can make the learners enjoy even in the online platforms. We focus on different programs and the different competitions which are very much required for the teacher to qualify to become to take teaching as a career ahead. We focus on number of guest lectures and workshops which make the teachers move into the reality and learn different skills which are required for teaching. We also make them learn about different life skills, different instructional designing skills, so that they can design the instruction in a better way. They can inculcate those life skills into the children and make learning effective. So to focus on all these aspects and just to give you a glimpse that how we can make learning better, here I welcome my colleague Dr. Neha Vats to discuss with you different strategies to make learning fun and interesting to your child. I hope you will enjoy this session. Thank you. Yes, welcome, Dr. Neha.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, you are perfectly audible.
All right, all right. Okay, so let's just begin with the another part of the session, which is related with making your learning experiences more joyful, right? So if I ask you or throw you one question, that is how to make your learning experience, how do you want actually it is to be? So definitely the answer would be as enjoyable as much. Okay, so in that case we really need to look out for that how we can make the learning joyful. I'm sure that we have had such kind of experiences wherein we never ever wanted to learn, considering the scenarios of the learning were quite not interesting at all. But today we will look out for such scenarios or the creation of such environment in the class with the help of certain activities, with the help of certain strategies, so that we can actually make our learning joyful, right? So if I would like to say one thing regarding the joyful learning, there are several things attached to it, there are several benefits attached to it. And if we look out at how it is beneficial to us, so we can have just our point of view related to one thing, that is it certainly brings out the changes, isn't it? So it brings out the changes in what sense? It brings out the changes related to the construct that we are teaching or whatsoever we are learning. Not only this, but it also discourage the rote learning. It actually is encouraging the authentic learning, wherein the students are actually engaged in a purposeful learning, but with a sound and happy mind, surrounded by the interesting activities, so that the students would be actively participating in the construction of the knowledge, and they are fully motivated to learn something new. They actually want to accomplish the task, the goal, the objective, whatsoever it is being decided by, or it is being decided by our curriculum. So need not to mention that we do take the curriculum to be completed by hook or crook, but over here or over the period of time, it is being considered that it is not only a process wherein we are trying to achieve or we are trying to cover up the curriculum by whatever means it could be, but why not to make this process a bit more enjoyable, so that whatever you are doing, you are actually not accomplishing the knowledge, but you are throughout enjoying the process of accomplishment, isn't it? It's the kind of learning that you are going to have afterwards is going to be forever with you, because certainly we all know that we used to enjoy our movies and songs, plays. Why is it so? Because they things are quite interesting to us, isn't it? So for that sake only, I actually have come up with certain activities with the help of what you would be able to understand that how the learning is actually going to be enjoyable if we are going to have the activities done into the classes. Okay, so the first activity that I would like to discuss is the shadow puppets. So puppets are always the part of the culture, isn't it? And if you talk about the puppet culture specifically in India, then Rajasthan is second to none, isn't it? Because the Rajasthan is the one of the states in India that has popularized the puppet shows. But I would like over here to talk about the improvised version of the puppet, that is the shadow puppet. And I would say this thing that, and I can vouch on that as well, which is that if we are going to use the shadow puppet in our own classroom, the students are going to enjoy the language like anything. Not only the languages, in other subjects as well, we can definitely use it, right? And let's just see one of the video wherein the shadow puppet, with the help of the shadow puppet, one story is being told, and you would see the difference it is going to land on in your mind, that how impactful the story has become. Instead of just abstractly in the manner of abstract, we are going to just describe the story. We'll be able to actually see the characters, the motives, whatsoever is being used. All right, so let's just go to the video wherein the story is being told with the help of the shadow puppet. Just a second. All right, so this is the one of the story of Sophia and First, and this story is actually being described in the manner of the shadow puppet. All right, just a second. Okay, so meanwhile it's getting started. Okay, could you please see that the two siblings are sitting, how interestingly they have just created the shadow puppet show. So this also implies that it is nothing so technical that we cannot take upon it, or as a teacher we cannot go for it. We certainly can go for it if these two kids can do this. All right, so just please look out for this, that how this beautifully the story of hare and tortoise is being told by these two siblings with the help of the shadow puppet.
Ma'am, your screen is not visible, I think so.
Okay, is this screen visible, ma'am?
It's only stuck that joy of learning where students.
Okay. Let me just fix it, ma'am.
No problem, ma'am. I'll provide you the rights again. Just give me a moment.
Is it visible now? I suppose it's now visible.
Yeah, now it's visible.
Yes.
Now it's visible.
Right. All right. Okay. So earlier you were not able to see to the screen. Now I would be just giving you a background again that this is the one of the video I'm going to show. It's based upon the hare and tortoise story, and you could see over here on the screen that a story of hare and tortoise is being displayed with the help of the shadow puppet. And to be you're surprised that these thing or the kind of technique is being over here developed by two siblings who are not that much of age. So the younger ones have already done it, or why can't we? So surely we can take on this as well. So let's just begin with the story and see how the motives are encouraging us to let us be more curious about to know that okay, this has happened afterward, this and that. All right. Okay, so I think you are able to see that there are two character being shown. One is hare and one is tortoise. And I know that this is a popular story, so you can already imagine the or the anticipate the what kind of dialogues are being said over here by the tortoise and hare. Considering the voice is pretty low over here due to some technical glitches. However, it was good earlier. So no, not an issue, but actually you need to learn the concept that with the help of the shadow puppet also the stories can be displayed, and by that means the student would be more interesting into the class, and the class would be taken up in the more constructive manner, wherein the students are taking interest as well as they are able to anticipate, maybe retrospect, and then further on they can reflect upon the morale or whatsoever and however you want to take this further on, right? So you could see that for the movements, the sticks are being moved further so that the movement of the hare and the tortoise can be reflected. Isn't it something which is amazing to see that how the motifs can be taken up with the help of the cuttings of the paper, then stick to it on a stick, or maybe a chopstick you can take, whatever type of stick is available to you. Ice cream stick can also be taken up, and then further it can be displayed to show a story building or how it is going to be proceeded further. All right, so this is one of the activity. Again, I would like to have you the look over the another activity that I would like to show to you is the games or activity. So popularly we do understand that the games are something which only to be used while we are doing the physical education or maybe something like that, the sports activity. But you all understand that how playful the students are, no matter the age, right? So despite of the fact that we now have grown up, but we have always being amazed by the games played around, isn't it? We always wanted to or we always want to be the one of the participant in any of the game. So it is one of the clues wherein you definitely can organize an activity, a game in your class in order to enhance upon the element of interest into the class, because certainly everybody would like to take part into it, isn't it? So I'm going to show you one of the very wonderful video wherein the small child from a government school are being played, having done the activity of learning the ABCD. So just explore it, okay? एक्टिविटी करते हैं, इसमें ABCD कंटिन्यूस सीखते हैं, किसे कितना याद रहता है। शुरू करें, चलो अंकित शुरू करो। हो जाओ, चलो गोल आपने सही बना दो, चलो आप शुरू करो, शुरू करो ए से। So as you are able to So as you are able to see onto this screen that a video is being played wherein it is being shown that how we can play the games with the help of the students by in between they are learning the ABCD, isn't it? Isn't it a nice idea wherein the game that person who is unable to recall the next letter would be out of the game and would be false out and would be taken back, right? And the again the same circle is being formed and again the same kind of activity would be taken up wherein this student would be starting from A and then forwarded the same manner, so whosoever is going to miss in between the letter would be out of the game. So by that means the students are doing fun as well as they are learning the letters, right? So they are also be vigilant enough, they would be able to recall. So you can also take on one more thing, that is every student would not be getting the same letter again and again, because the number of the students into the circle is revising, so that every letter would be the probability of coming again and again, or maybe at the different time. At the same time, it is also asking for the students to be vigilant enough to recall the previous one and also the after letter. So no, it's also not so serving the one purpose, that is to learn the ABCD, but having understood that what comes before and what comes after, right? So this is a very a very unique or very kind of activity which can be done without utilizing any of the source or any of the resources. It's just a activity you can simply ask the student to please come up. Likewise, any other activity could also be organized wherein I talk about the languages, we certainly can ask for a student to come and role play. Likewise, we can ask the student to have the dramatization done for the characters. So this is the examples we can have, and there are more of the examples we can explore. So it's all up to your creativity that how we are going to utilize such an activity for making the learning fun. Okay, I'm going to play it I'm going to actually resume the play of it. Let's see how the students have been doing it. चलो शुरू करो. जल्दी जल्दी करो. All right, so this is one of the things that we have just seen, that with the help of even the games and activity, we can definitely make the learning enjoyable and interesting. Now let's come to the another one. Now the another one is very interesting. Why is it so? Because you need to sit on a hot seat, and hot seat I think is very much popularized not only by this activity, but with the very commonly and very popularly seen or one of the television show, which is Kaun Banega Crorepati, right? Everybody must have seen it, isn't it? So with the help of what has happened, the student over here in the classroom is asked to be seated on the hot seat, and the children whosoever, or the child whosoever has sat over here on this the chair would be asked to play a character. Let's say if I am saying that you are going to sit on a chair and would be able to just reflect upon that, okay, what if you were a fruit? What are you going to say? Right, so by that means the student would be exploring that fruit's characteristic by any other means and the benefits associated with, and lots more. Okay, so let's just see. Okay, let me show you one thing. Let's just say that I have a banana. Okay, let me say that, okay, the child whosoever is sitting on the hot seat would be given a fruit, let's say banana. Okay, if you were a banana, what would you say about yourself? So what can we say about a banana? We can say a lot of things about a banana, isn't it? So if we are a language teacher, we certainly can use it for the speaking skill. We certainly can use it for the adjective, right? We can use it if we want to teach the parts of a speech, isn't it? So let's say if I say that if I were a banana, how I'm going to describe it? There are several ways to describe it. First, I think I can say that, okay, yes, I am yellow in color, am a long fruit. I have a very gooey texture, right? I have grown like a yellow. Then when I grown up like a green in color, but when I arrived, I become yellow, right? So this is how you can portray. Likewise, if I take an example of a apple, of an apple, so I would be saying that I am, what color it is a dark brown color, but I certainly can also be found in another colors as well, which is red, which is yellow, right? And yellowish red. So there are several other things I can tell about myself. Likewise, I can say that I'm small, and also it is can be used in an activity wherein you are asking students to compare and contrast. Okay, so if you are in a language, so you definitely, the language class, you can ask a student to compare and contrast the characteristics of a banana and an apple. So definitely the student would be saying the banana is an banana is a long fruit or fruit which is not similar to an apple. Why? Because the shape is not equal or same. The shapes are different, the tastes are different, the textures are different, the colors are different. There are several other things we can talk of when we are talking of the similarities, dissimilarities, compare and contrast. So we can definitely use such kind of activities, right? Okay, so this is a very famous sculpture. I think you all are very much aware of it. The Gandhian principles are being reflected with the help of these sculptures. So the visual art is one of the another prominent activity we can certainly go for if we want to use the learning or we want to use the learning strategy in a fun way. So as you can see over here on the screen, let's say if I'm being the teacher of the social science and maybe I wanted to teach them the Gandhian principles. So instead of just saying that don't speak bad, don't speak, don't listen to bad and don't say anything bad, I can definitely show these sculptures into the class wherein I'm saying that you could please tell me that what it is depicting. So though that sculpture, that little Buddha is actually having hands on the mouth, with the help of what we can say that it is depicting don't speak anything which is wrong. The another one is having hands on the ear, so we definitely can ask a student to explore it further and tell me that what it is depicting. So it is depicting what, that don't hear anything which is wrong, right? And likewise, if I say that what another one is saying, so the hands are on the eyes, we can ask a student where the hands are, what it is depicting. So it is also depicting don't see anything which is wrong, isn't it? So likewise, another one we can also add on, and wherein to don't think anything which is wrong. So these are the kind of example wherein the little sculpture can also be able to fetch the attention of the students in order to make the learning more interesting. So even to teach the morale in any of the language class, if you have such a story wherein you want to draw out a morale that do not ever say something which is wrong, or maybe do not do anything which is wrong, you certainly can show these kind of sculptures. Okay, so if you are unable to find these kind of sculptures in a physical mode, you can always fetch the pictures from the Google and can have done into your class. So sculptures do say also another things. Not only the sculpture are delivering one of the messages of the Gandhi, but it is also we can also use it in another way, which is to describe a sculpture. Okay, so by this means you are actually asking students to speak up. That means you are enhancing or you're working on the speaking skill, and you can ask a student to please elaborate upon it. So definitely the student would be saying that person is sitting nicely, or maybe that child is sitting nicely, he has a smile on his on his lips, he must be thinking of something. You can even ask a student, okay, could you please anticipate that what he or she is thinking, or by showing any of the sculpture, please imagine what he must be thinking of, right? So these type of things you can definitely do in order to fetch the attention. Okay, so now we have the another activity to be discussed over here, which is the crack the code. So the crack the code is something which is kind of, you know, solving out the riddles, solving out the puzzles. Don't you always have that heuristic mind that okay, we can solve anything, we can definitely do it. So in order to have that done, we definitely come up with certain codes which is to be cracked by the students, because certainly the students will be more motivated to learn, more, you know, enthusiastic to okay, so I think I can do it. And after doing that, they would definitely be having that kind of sense of accomplishment that they actually did it by solving the quiz, maybe by solving the riddle. So if I say, let's say the first one of the riddle over here which is being given is, I am brown, I have got a tail, I can jump very high, who am I? Even we can show them few hints or few pictures so that they can easily identify if it is in the case of the lower classes. But if it is the higher classes, you can take it on another way, which is you can ask them, okay, what similarities you are seeing in between. Okay, make you can even go on the in a different manner, which is to make a riddle for the characteristics of a cheetah. Like if I'm a green, I can catch flies, I can climb walls, who am I? So the lizard could be the answer. I run fast, I have got spots on my body, I like meat, who am I? So definitely the cheetah is the answer. So definitely we can have these kinds of riddles, puzzles, with the help of what the students can actually become James Bond, right? And they can definitely look out for, you know, solving the puzzle riddles, and they can have the sense of accomplishment that that they discovered their own learning. And by that means we are actually boosting their morale also, isn't it? So it is not only serving the purpose of making the learning fun, but it is also giving them the sense of accomplishment that they actually have created their own learning, right? And at last, I would like to give you one of the activity you can definitely do it in your you know, leisure time, which is you can create any of such activity with the help of what you think that the learning can be made beautiful and joyful and interesting, and something which the student really want to enjoy, right, for a longer duration. So this is it from my side. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you. Is anybody having any question to ask about, or would like to share anything related to, you know, the activities they might have come up with, so that the learning can be made wonderful, enjoyable, and fun? All right, so I hope that you would be creating such an activity wherein the puzzles can be included, the riddles can be included, or any such activity could be included, with the help of what the learning can be made enjoyable. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much for intensifying and magnifying the knowledge of our attendees. So with this, we'll come to few queries by our attendees. So with your permission, Nimisha ma'am, Neha ma'am,
Yes,
can
sure,
we take
ma'am.
up those queries?
Sure, ma'am.
All right. So, ma'am, attendees want to know about the placement of the course, like how the LPU will help in placements after the completion of the course.
Right, thank you. Okay, so as far as LPU is concerned, if I talk about School of Education, see, it is, I can say, having this USP in terms of placement, which generally students cannot found in other teacher education institutions. Here, for becoming a teacher, the first thing, which is the very basic thing which you require, is qualifying your teacher eligibility test. Like if you are in B.Ed, you need to qualify CTET, and if you are in your PG courses, that is M.Ed, you need to qualify UGC NET to become a teacher educator or a teacher. So the first step to move towards your career or placement is qualifying these tests. So in LPU, in School of Education, we prepare you for all the content which is there in these tests. Like for CTET, whatever is the syllabus that is integrated into your curriculum, and you have rigorous practice in terms of MCQs to be solved, in terms of questions to be solved, practice sessions are given, and the result is that almost 80% of the students qualified seated, those who appeared for the seated, and 100% students qualified UGC net. Right. Then when it comes to placement, the second step is obviously after qualifying your teacher eligibility, you want to get placed in a school. So in the School of Education, we invite many schools for conducting the drive here in LPU, and they select the students after taking their all the rounds of demonstrations, interviews, and almost again I'll say 60 to 70% have students have almost got placement in good schools like GD Goenka, Pragyanam, then Cambridge International, DPSS schools. So there are n number of chain of schools where our students are getting placed.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for resolving the query of our attendees. And attendees, if you want to take admission to our university, you want to be the part of this mentorship which you have witnessed just now, you have to take admission. And for that process, we have our admission expert, Mr. Neeraj Sharma, with us. So he'll tell you all the routes, all the detail about the university and the admission process. So sir, over to you for the admission part of the university. You are not audible.
Am I audible now? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear. Yes, sir. And sir,
thank you so much. Okay. Very good evening, all of you. Now, before we proceed with the presentation part, I would like to brief you little bit about admission and LPU first. Then we'll switch on to the presentation part. See, basically, as far as LPU is concerned, we are India's largest private university in terms of area and number of students on a single campus. We have only one campus, which is situated in Phagwara, very close to Jalandhar in Punjab, and this campus is spread over more than 600 acres of land. It's such a huge campus that we have more than 30,000 students who are studying here, and they are from 50 different countries. If you talk about number of programs, we are running more than 100 programs from here, starting from 10th onwards diploma till post PhD. We have the programs available with us. So if I am talking about 50 country students and each and every corner from India, that means we are far better in terms of placements, in terms of curriculum we are teaching, in terms of practical knowledge and trainings we are giving in comparison to our competitors. So if you talk about infrastructure, we have each and every facility available within the campus itself. Like if I tell you, we do have a very big mall within the campus. We have a hospital. We have more than 100 food courts here. And of course, separate hostel facility for both boys and girls, which are 100% secure. We have a very big indoor stadium, banks, ATM, post office, all such facilities are available within the campus itself. Now coming to the presentation part. So you can very well see that from the very first slide, I just feel proud to share that 13 of the LPU students, they have participated in Tokyo Olympic Games, which were held in 2021, and 10% of the Indian Olympic participants were LPU students, and none other than our icon Neeraj Chopra and other participants, they were our students. And you can see that another feather in a cap, that LPU team has lifted runners-up trophy at Khelo India University Games, and our honorable Home Minister Mr. Amit Shah, along with the Sports Minister Mr. Anurag Thakur, they were the ones who awarded the runners-up trophy to LPU team at Khelo India University Games. Then if I talk about rankings, right, I feel proud to share that LPU, as per the Times Higher Education Impact Rankings of 2022, we stand at 74th position globally. And if I talk about Times Higher Education World University Rankings, we are at 36th position among the top universities of India. This includes both government as well as private universities. And if I tell you about the subject-wise rankings, we are second in business, then we are 8th in clinical and health, 9th in computer science, and 10th in engineering. Then if I talk about Atal rankings of institutions on innovation achievements, we are third in India. And of course, now if I tell you about the campus life and the exposure, that what a student can expect in the campus once he or she joins here in any of the program. So you can see none other than our Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi ji. He was here with us at one of the Indian Science Congresses, which was held in 2019. Then none other than His Holiness Dalai Lama, he was here with us at one of our campus. Then we do have two ex-presidents, ex-president of Afghanistan and ex-president of India. They were the ones who shared the dice at one of the convocations in LPU. Then ex-finance minister of India, Shri Arun Jaitley ji, he was here and he was the one who inaugurated the startup school of LPU. Then Gopal Gohardas, he was the one, the spiritual guru. He was here to share his life experiences with our students and faculty members. Then none other than the Bollywood icons. You can see in the picture Shah Rukh Khan, Deepika, other big stars which have a good name in the industry, in film industry. They have all visited us in LPU and they have shared their experiences with our students. Then you can see in the picture none other than MS Dhoni, our ex cricket team captain. He was here with us and he has been sharing his views and sharing his experiences with us. Now coming to the infrastructure part of the university. So you can see in the picture, this picture, the inner view, these are the 14 blocks back to back, including the library and the ECE department. Then this is the auditorium where the strength is more than 2,500 in one go. 2,500 people can sit here. Then this is the mall I was talking about. This mall is within the campus itself. The inner view of the mall, all the facilities, shops which are there in the mall, you can see in this picture. Then this is fully equipped library, which is functional 24/7 for the benefit of the students. Then some recreational facilities available here with us. This is the bowling area. Then fully equipped gymnasium is there. Then the hospital which I talked about, we have a 25-bedded hospital including a dental chair. Then these are the inner view of the hospital. Then the indoor stadium, a very big indoor stadium is there where we have an Olympic size swimming pool. Then other facilities like badminton courts, volleyball courts, squash courts are there. Then of course we have a gun shooting range also within the indoor stadium. So this is the panoramic view of the campus, the night view. So quickly shifting to our website. Now if somebody is interested to know the details of a particular program, so what you have to do is you have to shift to our website. You need to log into lpu.in. This is the website. So once you log in, on the very first page, you will find a tab by the name admissions. So by clicking on this tab, you will find different links which will show you that if you are a 12th class student and you are looking for undergraduate programs, you need to log in through this process. And if you are a graduate, so you need to log in through this particular process. Now I'll take an example of a graduate based program which is B.Ed. So if I'm interested in B.Ed, I'll just go and click on this regular program link, and in front of me there'll be different program list, like according to my area of interest and my eligibility criteria, I have to choose a particular stream. So these are the disciplines in which a student can be interested, can be engineering, computer, management. So if I'm looking for a particular program, I have to see the particular stream. So I'm looking for education. So I'll click on this education part, and here I can see these are the regular programs available. We do have MA education, we have B.Ed, we have M.Ed, and of course we have MSc e-learning in tie-up. So if I'm interested to join a B.Ed program, which is a 2 years degree with 4 semesters, I'll click on this particular part. So once I've entered the program through that link, it will give you the detailed glimpse of the program, that what is the eligibility criteria, what is the fee structure, what kind of curriculum we are teaching. So starting with the eligibility part for this program, it says that a student needs to have only 50% aggregate marks in bachelor's degree, or if somebody is doing B.Ed after masters, it should be 50% marks in masters, which can be in science, social sciences, or humanities, or commerce, right? So the best thing is there is no entrance test required for this program. That shows any candidate who qualifies this basic eligibility criteria can take admission directly without appearing in any of the competitive exams. Okay. Now coming to the other key highlights of the program, you can go through in detail about the key highlights. Then the curriculum details, that what all we are teaching in first year as per the autumn term or in spring term and in second year. So if you want to have a glimpse in detail about the subjects, you can just click on the year part and you'll come to know what all subjects are being taught in that particular part. Now the electives offered in the curriculum, these are the elective subjects. Then of course coming to the fee part, that what all fee will be there. So fee for this program is 50,000 per semester without any scholarship, but we are giving very good scholarships in the program. So what we have done is we have divided the scholarships into 3 different parts. So you can call them that, let's say, though there is no entrance test required in the program, but let us say that a student wants to get some scholarship. So there is an option that you can appear for our test, which is called LPU Nest, and on the basis of this test, you can be getting a scholarship. Let us suppose you appear for this LPU Nest test, which will be purely a scholarship test for you, and the score falls in bracket 3, cutoff 3. In that case, 35% scholarship will be given to the student, and the applicable fee will be 32,500 per semester. Similarly, if you perform little bit better in the test, your score falls in cutoff 2, you will be given 45% scholarship, and the fee will come down to 27,500 per semester. And in case if you are lucky to get bracket 1 scholarship, in that case 55% scholarship will be given, and the fee applicable will be 22,500 per semester. So that means at present the scholarship slabs which are applicable here are 35%, 45% and 55%. Similarly, there are other criteria also, that on the basis of the 12th percentage a student can claim scholarship, and even on the basis of graduation also we are giving scholarships. So depending on the class, like somebody who wants to get scholarship on the basis of 12th percentage, these are the slabs. So you need to score minimum 80%. So in case if the score is between 80 to 89.99, you get 35% scholarship on the basis of 12th marks. Then in case if the score is between 90 to 94.9, you get 45, and if the percentage is more than 95, you get 55. Similarly, in graduation also, on the basis of percentage in graduation, we are giving scholarships to the students. But you need to remember one thing, that though we are giving scholarships through different categories, but do remember that only one scholarship will be given to the student, and that too which is highest. Okay, so there can be a possibility that there is a student who is eligible for more than 2 or 3 different scholarships. But what we'll do is, at the time of admission, we will compare all the categories in which a student is eligible for scholarship, and depending on those categories, whichever will be the highest one will be taken, and you will be given that particular scholarship. And whatever scholarship you get in your very first semester, that gets carried forward for the complete program. For all semesters, all those years, for the complete program, you'll be getting the same scholarship benefit which you get in your very first semester. Okay. Now moving to the other part, right? These are the scholarship, other categories through which a student can win scholarships, which can be on the basis of financial aid, can be on the basis of LPU Nest and other qualifying exams, which we have discussed. Now do remember there are specific dates for this. So anybody who wants to take admission, the last date of admission in such program is 31st of July. So you have to rush off. You have to immediately book your seat, get your seat reserved by paying 10,000 rupees online through our portal. And once the seat is reserved, then you can apply for LPU Nest test in case if you want scholarships. Otherwise, you can win scholarships on the basis of your 12th percentage also and your graduation percentage as well. Okay. Now switching to the other part, if I tell you that, okay, now these are the contact details and other things which you have to remember. So the website of LPU is lpu.in, and in case if you want to send us a mail and want to inquire few things, you can drop a mail at admissions@lpu.co.in, and you can just give us a call also in case if you want to talk to our counselors. So the numbers are 01824 517 000. Another number is 404404. Before I wind up, I would like to tell you that there is another link. If somebody wants to know the webinars, if you are interested to join the upcoming webinars, or if you want to see which all webinars have been covered by LPU, so you need to go to the same tab, which is admissions. On the extreme side, you will find a link where it will be written LPU's EduFair webinars. So once you click on this link, you will find all the webinars which are either upcoming. You will find an upcoming webinar link also, and the ones which have already been covered. So according to the topics, your area of interest, your qualification, you can just go through it. And in case if you join and want to join any webinar in future, you need to see here, see upcoming webinars. So accordingly, you can just see for which particular topic the webinar is coming up in on which particular date, and who is the resource person. So accordingly, you need to register and get yourself enrolled for this webinar. Thank you so much for your time. Wish you all the best, and over to you, Ruby ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir, for the detailed information about the admission process. So thank you so much, attendees. That's all for today. Thank you for sparing and participating in today's webinar. We appreciate you all for being here and believe your knowledge has been enriched by today's webinar. Also, I would like to express my appreciation to the experts for their valuable contribution on today's webinar. I'm sure your years of research, your years of experience will definitely help the audience to choose the right path. So until next time, I, Ruby, will finally sign off the session. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you, sir.